gentlemen, my name is Kurt. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Let's get down to the business of space exploration. Woo! Overly excited there, Kurt. But yeah, we're here. And I'd like to do a few tests, if I may. At the end of the last episode, I kind of teased that we have 2 stations orbiting in the far reaches, well, the nearish, farish reaches of space. We've got one around the moon of Duna, and another one around Dres. Let's call it Dres. Little orbit stations, unmanned, of course. I just kind of sent out here on a whim, perhaps to serve as waypoints for landing on these objects. I've noticed, however, that Dres, D, Big D, is kind of just a big asteroid. A big pain in the asteroid. No, a big asteroid. There really isn't much out here to explore, so I don't know how quick I'm going to be wanting to get a manned mission out here. So I think what I want to do is I have on the very tip, the very reservoir tip of the unmanned station, a little tiny lander. Perhaps the tiniest little spacecraft I've ever created in the game. And I'd like to see if I could at least maybe land on Dres, Big D, to see if there is anything worth sending a manned mission out here for. So I'd like to do that. I don't even know if this little lander is going to work, or if it has enough fuel, or is even going to be very easily maneuverable or whatnot. So we're just going to try that out. And then, if we have time, which I assume we will, I'd like to maybe launch another one of these unmanned missions to the inner planets. What's the Venus analog called? It's called Eve. Yeah, maybe I'll send it to Eve. That way we'll have one around Duna and one around Eve. And then for the next episode, we'll have to decide. Well, we'll have to develop our interplanetary spacecraft and manned lander. That's going to be no small task. I might have to look at the Kerbal Space Program forums to get a better idea of how to do that. Because as we know, the last attempt was a little bit of a failure at a manned landing on Duna. I think, I don't know, should I wait for another orbit? Because that's we're in a pretty high orbit here, 250 kilometers. Yeah, let's fast forward time just enough. Alright, let's see if we can't... How much fuel do I have? Full on fuel. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to land, to be honest. Maybe I should drop my orbit with this stage? I have very little fuel in this stage. I don't know, that might be a good idea. I have the smallest of small rockets on this, so it shouldn't use that much fuel, but I don't know. I'd hate to disconnect and then, like, burn for 2 seconds and then, boop, out of fuel. So let's actually lower our orbit a little bit. And since we're not really planning to land with a manned mission, it's no big deal if we leave this space station in a little bit of an awkward orbit. I don't know, what do you say, like 50 kilometers, 40? $48? Yeah, well, we could actually go even closer, couldn't we? Let's do 40. There we go. Alright, also, I just realized, there isn't the actual, robotic command pod, whatever thing you want to call it, is up on the lander. So once I detach the lander, this space station is going to be adrift because there's no control computer and there's no Kerbins, no Kerbins aboard to control it. So we're going to leave this little spacecraft be, which is fine, I guess. No major problems with that. If we need to, we can send a mission out here to re-hook up to it and get some sort of control to it. But like I said, Dres does not appear to be that interesting of a target to me. Alright, I think this is going to be a good spot to detach. Good thing we're pointed in the right direction. Alright, we've got... Let me quick save, just in case I want to change my mind. Alright, here is the coupler. Let's decouple. And it's given me control, obviously, of the lander, because that is the only thing that has a control computer on board. Alright, we have control. We have electric charge. We have 2 batteries, 2 solar panels, a fuel tank, an engine, and 4 landing legs. And the engine has not fired yet. Alright, let's turn on the engine. Activate. Let's just see how quickly this thing sucks down fuel. Oh, not very much at all. Well, actually, a little bit faster than I anticipated, to be honest. We started with 575, and now we're down to 562. But that's done quite a bit for our approach, actually. Yeah, oh. Maybe I didn't need to, Alright, cool. Well, we're landing no matter what. I just need to make sure I can slow myself down enough to not smack into the side of the moon. Our asteroid. Big D. Dres. Duh. Let's say about 50 kilometers. I'll do another burn to kind of bring myself, down into more of a vertical descent. Keeping an eye, as always, on our fuel. Down to 4 units. This could be problematic. I might be kind of heavy as well. Okay, let's do that. Let's test. I've never used these landing legs. These are the tiny, intended for small, lightweight robotic landers. Ooh, they're like telescoping. Cool. Wally. Anyway, let's, Oh, SAS doesn't do anything because I don't have an SAS module on here. It's a very tiny spacecraft. Alright, let's fast forward time a little bit more. Let's go maybe down to 25, 30 kilometers. And then do another burn to bring us down a little bit more vertically. Like this. Let's make sure we're firing on the opposite. Keeping an eye on the fuel. Not too shabby. Looks like we're heading for... I'm assuming this is like ice. This little white stuff is ice, and the dark stuff is not ice. Oh, that canyon would have been an interesting place to land. But it looks like we're headed for some safe plains. The geographical feature, not the aeroplanes. Well, nice little lander here. I didn't have too much faith. I thought it was too simple. This is probably the problem I have in overcomplicating my rockets and my ships, is that I don't realize that a very simple idea, such as strapping a rocket onto the smallest fuel tank and landing legs, a few batteries, a few solar panels, is all we need. In addition to love, because all we really need is love. Sorry. Maybe I should, I'm noticing I'm picking up speed. Maybe I should make sure that I'm not picking up speed and just keep constant pressure on the throttle. Make sure I'm not slowing down too much. I don't want to end up going vertically and wasting fuel, but... Ooh. These mountains are bigger than I anticipated. That could be a problem. "12 kilometers, doing alright. What's our landing site look like it's going to be? Probably on this border between the snow, the ice, and whatever this rockiness is. Down past 10,000 meters. Probably should kick up the throttle a little bit. Still going pretty fast. 140 meters per second. We're just passing by the halfway point of our fuel tanks. We're alright on electric charge. We're in the sun, but I don't think our solar panels are really in the sun. Alright, we're down under 100 meters per second. That's good. Let's take a look at our landing zone. Nothing too interesting going on here. The camera's getting me a little bit sick. Alright, alright. That's probably the one I wanted. Yeah, that's better. 50 meters per second and about 4 kilometers up. And running out of fuel. Alright, maybe I should ease up on the throttle. I'm still slowing down, that's good. Easy, easy. Of course, this is... I don't know what is considered sea level on this asteroid. I don't have a radar altimeter. So this actually might be happening sooner than I'm anticipating. Alright, look for the shadow. Alright, we've come down to a nice, gentle hover. This looks like this is going to be our one and only chance to actually land, because we don't have that much fuel to spare. We're at 2,000, but I think we're coming up on our landing. There is our shadow. Alright, keep an eye on that. And it disappeared. No! There it is again. Alright. Just went behind a little bit of a ridge. It's a small, tiny sliver of fuel remains. And we've come to a hover. Not good. And... cut the engines. Oh, it's very soft, muddy surface. But we've landed. We landed a little tiny little robotic probe, if you will. Our space probe on Big D, the Big D asteroid. Kind of landed, where did we land? A little bit on kind of a little hill. This almost looks like this could be an old crater, perhaps. A little bit of a hill. Just barely missed that nice canyon there. Oh well. Alright, so the design works, at least. Just barely. You have to be very, very consistent with your landing and your fuel, which is not bad when you're landing on such a small object like Big D and the with this little light lander, but I could have very easily run out of fuel had I not lowered my orbit early with the space station. But yeah, here we are. Awesome. Now we have a little bit of a... We didn't add any... That's the one thing I didn't do. I didn't add any of those fancy scientific experiments to the side of this probe. This was just a demonstration landing. Cool. Cool beans. Alright, so now, if we go back to the Space Center, that the station around Dres is probably now considered like junk, because we have no control over the thing. Nope. No control whatsoever. So if we ever want to gain control of the spacecraft again, we would need to send something out here to do such a thing. It's not like we wasted much fuel. There's a bunch of RCS fuel in there, but oh well, we're good. We're good with that. Let's go back to the Space Center and let's head into the VAB. I know I never showed you guys how I got there with those missions, so I'd like to do that by getting to Eve. What did I call those things? I called that a planetary orbit station. Boop. Hello. What should I do? I think I modified it a little bit for orbiting around Duna, and I added the wrong, what are these things called? Solar panels. Where are they at? Yeah, I think I used... It's hard to tell. I think I used this one, but I meant this one. Just the way they deploy is different. So let's, I probably don't need 4, but we're going to add 4 anyway, just because it looks cool to be symmetrical. I feel like if I'm going to land... Oh, first of all, I should probably consider adding another robotic module. Can I hide it in there or not? No? I was gonna say, once I disconnect the lander, you don't have any control of the spacecraft anymore. So maybe I can't... What I could do... I know what I could do. Let's put this... Alright, let's hold off on those. Let's... Put that there, and then let's remove that, and then remove that. But then add... No. Aha, like that. Yeah, okay. So now we have, once we disconnect our little probe here, there's still a command station that we can, oh, and I can just attach the solar panels directly to it. Awesome. Alright, that works, I think. Well, maybe I should put some sort of science equipment? I don't know. Barometer. Thermometer. Ooh, we don't need 4 of them. Whoa! It's a fancy little design. Let's put a thermometer on the side and, this is like a weather science probe. Alright. What else could we possibly need? I think I was pretty set on everything else in this situation. So let's save this puppy, launch. We need to clear the launch pad of our previous mission to Minmus and proceed. Now let me check. Traveling to the inner planets is a little bit more wonky than traveling to the outer planets. So let's try to... Oh, that actually... might be too late. It might be too late, but I'm going to attempt it. Because Eve is obviously going to pass beneath us, but I can always fast forward things enough times to try to catch up. Alright, cool. So, let's throttle up, SAS on. One of the things I remember I did is I disabled the gimbaling on these external boosters. Because that makes things a little bit more stable. You might remember previous launches being a little bit wobbly, especially with a tower of justice. A tower of justice. A tower of rocketry such as this. No matter how many little struts you put on, it gets a little bit wobbly and sometimes things break apart. Alright, SAS on, throttle up, fine-tune controls on. Let's get our third planetary exploration station. That's a better name. Planetary Exploration Station. Sounds like a kid show on Disney Channel or something. Let's head to Eve, why don't we? And then we'll have a bunch of depots available for manned missions to happen in the very, very near future in 5, 4, 3, 2... Wait, something's wrong. Yeah, that... I noticed the... Abort! We have an abort from the computers. We have these detacher, decoupler thingies would have let go before the engines fired and we would have just fallen to the ground. Alright, we've reconfigured the launch computers and mission control says we're ready to try again. We're still within our launch window in new countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we've cleared the tower. And things are still a little bit wobbly. Did I not disable all of the gimbals on these guys? No, I did. Alright, we're good. We are still go at throttle up. Maybe not that much throttle. It's one of the things I've learned is that while you're still within the deep part of the atmosphere, it's kind of ill-advised to go much faster than 200 meters per second, simply because that's when the atmosphere starts pushing back on you, so you're really wasting fuel. Speaking of wasting fuel, see you later. You're really wasting fuel, so while I still do want to be gaining acceleration, I don't want to go nuts. And then about 10,000 meters is when we do our gravity turn. So we've got some slight oscillations and rolling. Alright, now gravity turn. Just keep it nice and steady. It's a little bit slow because I only have the one engine that is gimbaling anymore. But now is when we can actually throttle up to about 2 Gs. Having problems pitching over. I want to get to about 45 degrees. I'm kind of losing... Alright, let's hold that right there. Let's look at our map. Oh god, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this! Okay, whoa, yeah, we're going really... Oh! A little bit of a delay in staging. The computer was a little bit confused. As in the computer, I mean me. Let's pitch over a lot more. We have a lot more altitude than we needed. So much for saving on fuel. Alright, let's hold that. Yeah, we're already at an orbital altitude there, so now we just need to get our horizontal altitude up. Oh, a little bit of wasted fuel there, but we're alright. Science! We're on the 90 degree. We are extending our orbit. Just enough. We're a good minute 39 out from our apoapsis. We actually want that number to be getting lower. Because we're going to throttle up once we get, like, I don't know, within 30 seconds of it, and then we'll circularize our orbit, and then we will make like a rug and leave towards Eve. Leave towards Eve. Set her as our target. Not gonna do much good to us until we escape the Kerbin system here, but we're all right. Debris there, that's fine. I don't think this rocket setup is as efficient as the manned rocket we launched in the last episode, because with that one, the first stage actually falls back into the ocean. What is that? I see a blinking pixel. Is there something out there on that island? Could just be the texture, the land. Yeah, where am I looking? Over there? Huh. Worth investigating. Apparently, I crashed at some point and was on this exact trajectory when I did so. Because there's some debris left on that little peninsula there. I hope those guys don't mind. Alright, now we could probably begin throttling up. Yeah, we're about 30 seconds out from our apoapsis. And we are pitched over perfectly. Let's throttle up to about 50%. This rocket is powerful enough. Alright, maybe 60%. Let's get back on the 90. And as you can see, the T- is actually going slower, because the more I throttle up, the further away I'm making myself from the apoapsis. So that means problems I've had in the past is I've accidentally passed up the apoapsis while I'm doing my orbital insertion burn, and that causes a weird egg-shaped orbit. Of course, the same can happen if you get too far ahead of it as well, so I'm trying to keep within 30 seconds. I apologize, you probably did not come to my channel to actually learn something about Kerbal Space Program. Oh, of all the places, this is not the one. Yeah, see, now we're a little bit too ahead, so now the apoapsis is going higher than the periapsis. But that's about an orbit. Let's stop at about 90. Yeah, alright, that's an orbit. Awesome, and we have about a quarter of a tank left, so we'll be able to use this stage to get us on the escape trajectory, which we want to do a little bit, oops, a little bit different this time, because we're actually traveling to the inside. So we want to burn on the opposite side towards the sun. So say about here. Let's just, for the giggles, do this. And what does that do for us? Oh, I didn't realize Eve is kind of on a wonky, not in the same plane of orbit as us. Yeah, I don't think I want to be wasting too much fuel on this burn, because the more I burn here, the further out here I go. Which means I'll have to then undo that later to get closer to Eve. So let's do it like that. That's probably the minimal burn I need to do to get on an escape trajectory. That sounds good. It doesn't look like I'm going to be having any problems running into Minmus or the moon. Sounds like a plan, guys. Sounds like a plan. Alright, we've got what they're calling a 21-second burn for our Kerbin escape. 21 seconds, that doesn't seem like a lot, but then again, I am on the main sail engine, so I'll sort of believe them and start the burn now. Yeah, that was a pretty good guess. I'm not even at full throttle. Let's hold that right there. Let's keep an eye on our fuel. We might find some use out of this rocket yet, even though it's not entirely very, what's the word I'm looking for, efficient to be carrying around this whole empty stage around the universe with me. You know what, I'll just use what's left of the fuel in here. That was a pretty good guess. That was pretty close. Yeah, it was pretty close. Who am I, Jay Leno? Alright, so now we should be Kerbin escape. and that is our estimated orbit. Once we get into that, we're going to try to slow ourselves down. But before we do that, let's... how are we doing? Oh, electric charge is fine because we just burned the engine. Alright, this is weird. I never quite understood the... Maybe I should get... Oh, the ship is throttled up. Sorry. Get into the sun here, first of all, for some solar power, but also just to show you how the separation between the nuclear, the atomic engine, and a disconnection module is an interesting thing indeed. So let's slow things down. Ah, that's something. I knew there was something else I wanted to do to this rocket in addition to adding another computer to the top. I forgot to add separatrons on this. So there is a slight debris problem when you disconnect here. But I've got the RCS on, so hopefully I'll be able to get away. If I can, like, get in a proper... Here we go. Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. So I'm going to stage... Alright, let's use the RCS to get away. Now watch this. When I activate the engine... Kablamo! It's got the fairing disappears. Not disappears, but splits apart. It's kind of cool. That was very unexpected the last time I did that. But yeah, there we go. Now we are what is hopefully a much more nimble spacecraft. And we're going to get into orbit around the sun. And I'll be back with you when we start to fiddle and finagle with our approach to Eve. Alright guys, we're back, and we are about to do our burn that will slow us down enough to bring us more in plane and more closer to Eve. But as I assumed, Eve passed us right by, so we're going to have to wait another orbit or so before we can actually sync up with the planet. But with an estimated burn of 12 minutes 50 seconds, I'm going to start my burn about 5 seconds ago. Crap! Alright, let's go. Oh, now it's an estimated burn of 3 minutes. See? Alright, hold on. Now let's take this new information and speed up time to about 1:40, and then that's when we'll do the burn. And we do this because the estimated burn is estimating that you're going to do the burn all at once in one snap movement. So what you have to do with let's say the burn says estimated 3 minutes 30 seconds, you have to split that in half and start your burn so that the half point of your burn is actually at the point it estimates you to start your burn. Is that making any sense at all? So let's say it's a 3 minute equal burn. You want to start your burn at T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds. Mathematics! I do it in my head sometimes. So yeah, I think, what did I say, about 1:40? I didn't quite catch the specific time. Alright, now burn. Yeah, that was probably good. It was about 3 minutes 15 seconds. So I started the burn at 1:30. And the reason I'm kind of not aimed quite retrograde is because I'm trying to correct for the orbital plane difference. But yeah, this burn is obviously going to take a while, so I won't let you sit through this, rather. I'm gonna do a little bit of physical time acceleration, but then also I'll bring you back in when we actually get some sort of results into getting into orbit near Eve. Alright, really briefly, I want to bring you back. I ran into a little bit of a problem. Halfway out, I noticed the electric charge go down to nearly 0. There was just a smidgen of enough that I could have done a roll to get this panel into the view, and then I was able to extend these panels. So we almost lost our spacecraft, but we're alright. Perhaps from now on I should make sure I have more than enough solar panels. Perhaps I should just plaster them throughout the panels on the exterior of our spacecraft, but apparently these two were facing away from the sun at some point, and we lost our electric charge, but it's getting back up there. But as you can see, I've just been fast-forwarding a little bit. I've got to wait for Eve to swing back around and catch up with my wider orbit here, so I'll bring you back if we have any more emergencies like that, but hopefully I think we've got ourselves covered. Whew, close one. Hell's blazes, we're back, and as usual, I got a little bit too overzealous with the fast forward sequence, and I missed my burn by 42 seconds. It's not a big burn, but it's the essential burn that is actually going to get us on our rendezvous with Eve. So hopefully, damn it, that always happens. There's not much fine-tuned control between the 100,000 time acceleration and the 10,000 time acceleration, or whatever it is. I just wanted to get nice and close, and then all of a sudden, nope, you're too late, too late! There's also a little bit of a delay. There's like a little bit of a slow cool-off period of the fast-forward. It's not really stepping. There's a little bit more of a bell curve, I guess, but excuses, Kurt. I did set up properly for a Eve encounter. As you can see, the mission is already... Is that hours? Or days? I think that might be days. I think we're on our 198th day. We're back out here near the orbit of Kerbin. So it's been about an orbit and a half that we've had to wait for Eve to catch back up with us. And then we pretty much almost ballsed it up completely. So hopefully we can overcome this slight error in timing and precision. Get back on target. Got about 100 meters per second to go. We're doing quite alright on the fuel. That is because this atomic rocket is incredibly efficient, I guess is the word for it. Alright, let's keep an eye on things. We don't want to screw up again. Alright, slowing down a little bit to get a little bit more precise. And cutting off the engines because I saw that we have an encounter. Now I can, first of all, get rid of this because that's just going to get in our way. I can use RCS. I'm just tapping my RCS a little bit, and as you can see, the Eve periapsis is getting lower and lower, just to get a little bit more of a precise... There's going to be a point where I can't get any closer because I'm too far away, but I'm just... The more adjustments and the more precise I can be at this distance, then the less panic and last-minute maneuvers I'll need to make once I actually get close to Eve. No, this is working out pretty well. We're getting 16, 15, this is million, so this is still not a close pass by any means. 12 million meters. Oh, this is going better than I had planned. Oh. It's a little hiccup in the matrix there. Quick save. 3 million. Oh, how much closer can I get? Closer the better, I think. Maybe. Ugh. Oh, okay. Maybe... Let's aim for that. We don't want to get too close and then find when we get closer that we're actually going to smack into the planet. So let's stick with about 700 kilometer encounter with Eve. I am planning... Eve is a difficult planet to land on because of its high-density atmosphere and high-density planet and gravity. I believe it has a moon, doesn't it? This mission would be pretty crap if it didn't have a moon, because that's what I'm planning on getting an orbit around and then landing eventually our little probe on. So let's get over there and we'll Once again, have a little bit of a cut here while I'm going to be very, very cautious with how much I fast forward. I don't want to pass the planet up like I've done so many times before. So I'll bring you back in when I'm about to do such a thing. When I'm about to make such a mistake. Indeed. Alright, here it comes. We're going to see what kind of approach we have set up here. Alright, kind of a wonky one. But that's a pretty close approach. Yes, it does have a moon. Gilly. Gilly, gilly, gilly. Let's first of all... I did... Remember... Oh, yes, remember how I could... How did I do that? Let's get into this view. I'm traveling towards the planet. Alright, that makes sense. So perhaps I want to burn on the 90? Or to the... Not to the north. I don't want to do that. I want to burn to the south, I think. And that will bring me more, as opposed to coming in from the north, more on a horizontal plane, I think. Right? Does that not make sense? Yeah. Things are happening. Good things. Hold that position. Oh, turn off the RCS. You're wasting RCS. Okay, whoa. Hi-ho, Silver. We're also getting getting ourselves dangerously close to the planet. I wonder... What can I do if I set up to orbit... Or set up the target as Gilly? I have a feeling that that is going to be entering the atmosphere, so what I'm going to do... Let's try to extend that periapsis. Oh, gotta turn off SAS to do such a thing. Grinding garage doors in the middle of space. Oh, that's making things worse. Uh-oh. Okay, perhaps firing north will do the opposite. Or in between north and south, like east. Or west. Let's see what this does. Nope. Alright, yeah, the other way. West, east, east. That was west. Yeah, I just fired west. I'm an idiot. I want to fire east. Yeah, we would definitely re-enter at that altitude. Not 90. I want... Oh, wait, that is east. Yeah, on the 90 is east. Got it. Come on. I'm wasting RCS fuel. It's crazy heavy machinery. Yeah, let's get out to about 100 maybe. Yeah, okay, I'm more comfortable with that. Got it. Don't mind me, just wasting fuel. Alright, so... We'll have a nice close pass of Eve. We've never seen Eve before. And then we can get ourselves at least captured into orbit, and then we can try to set ourselves up to at least encounter Gilly. Ooh, Gilly has an strange orbit. Strange orbit. It's a technical term, spelled with many, many vowels before the word actually starts. Alright guys, we're back. We are mid-burn to be captured by Eve. A very, very stark violet-colored atmosphere that Eve has. Very interesting indeed. Let's try to watch a sunrise through it. There's also some sort of yellowish, greenish glow as the sun passes through it. And there it becomes purple. Probably has something to do with the chemicals in the atmosphere. I don't know. Heyo! And now you're blind. Congratulations. You are now an astronaut. Cool. Alright, yeah, I look kind of like Eve. So far, the most visually stunning of the planets. But as you can see, we've got this weird burn going on right now. We're going to try to get into an orbit around Gilly. But you know what? This episode is already an episode of epic proportions and epicosity in terms of its duration and length and general thrustiness. So what I'm afraid I'm going to have to do is cut it off here, mid-burn. I know. Burn! It's kind of a crazy thing to do, but I'll have to come back in the next episode when we are around the orbit of Gilly. Wow, that's pretty cool. We're around the orbit of Gilly, and we have stations then around Duna, the moon of Duna, the moon of Eve, and then around an asteroid that we really don't care about. We just landed on. Whoop-de-doo. But yeah, such is the way with space exploration many, many times. You can't really stick around for the entire thing, but we'll have it. Yep, we're in orbit here at least. So you know I did it. But I do appreciate you watching this episode of Kerbal Space Program. Forward, like I said, to the next one, to those things I just talked about that I will not repeat again. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.